guys, I'm Madison, and I'm going to talk to you about the Food Safe Families campaign. The Food Safe Families campaign consists of cleaning, separating, cooking, and chilling your food correctly. I'm also going to talk to you about the Food Keeper app, and then I'm going to talk to you about the basic handling of your food to properly stay safe. The first topic in the Food Safe Families campaign is cleaning and washing your hands and surfaces often. Washing your hands the right way is very important in food safety. You need to wash your hands for 20 seconds with plain soap and running water. Washing your hands the right way can stop the spread of illness-causing bacteria. Here's how to do it. Wet your hands with warm or cold running water and apply soap. Run your hands together to make a lather and scrub them well. Be sure to scrub the backs of your hands between your fingers and under your nails. Bacteria can hide out there too. Continue rubbing your hands for at least 20 seconds. If you need a timer, hum Happy Birthday from beginning to end twice. Rinse your hands well under running water and dry your hands using a clean towel or air dry. And when you need to wash your hands, includes before eating your food, before, during, and after preparing food, before and after caring for someone who is sick, like me, after handling uncooked eggs or raw meat, poultry, seafood, and other juices, after blowing your nose, coughing, and sneezing, after touching an animal or animal waste, after touching garbage, or after using the bathroom. Wash surfaces and utensils after each use. Bacteria can be spread throughout the kitchen and get onto cutting boards, utensils, and countertops. To prevent this, use paper towels or clean cloths to wipe up kitchen surfaces or spills. Washcloths often in the hot cycle of your washing machine. Wash cutting boards, dishes, utensils, and countertops with hot, soapy water after preparing each food item and before you go on to the next item. As an extra precaution, you could use a solution of 1 tablespoon of unscented liquid chlorine bleach and 1 gallon of water to sanitize washed surfaces and utensils. Wash fruits and veggies, but not meat, poultry, or eggs. Did you know that even if you plan to peel fruits, veggies, it's important to wash them first because bacteria can spread from the outside to the inside as you cut or peel them. Here's how to wash your produce effectively. Cut away any damaged or bruised areas. Rinse produce under running water. Don't use soap, detergent, bleach, or commercial produce washes. Scrub firm produce like melons or cucumbers with a clean produce brush. Dry your produce with a paper towel or clean cloth towel. And you're done. The good news, bagged produce marked pre-washed is safe to use without further washing. Why not wash meat, poultry, and eggs? Washing your raw meat and poultry can actually help bacteria spread because their juices may splash onto your sink and countertops, and that's contamination. All commercial eggs are washed before sale. Any extra handling of the eggs, such as washing, may actually increase the risk of cross-contamination, especially if the shell becomes cracked. The second topic in the Food Safe Family campaign is separating and not cross-contaminating your food. Even after you've cleaned your hands and surfaces thoroughly, raw meat, poultry, seafood, and eggs can still spread illness-causing bacteria to ready-to-eat foods, unless you keep them separate. Use separate cutting boards and plates for produce and for meat, poultry, seafood, and eggs. Placing ready-to-eat food on a surface that held raw meat, poultry, seafood, or eggs can spread bacteria and make you sick, but stopping cross-contamination is very simple. Use 1 cutting board for fresh produce and 1 for raw meat, poultry, or seafood. Use separate plates and utensils for cooked and raw foods. Before using them again, thoroughly wash the plates, utensils, and cutting boards that held the raw meat, poultry, seafood, or eggs. Once the cutting board gets excessively worn or develops hard-to-clean grooves, consider replacing them. You also need to keep poultry, seafood, and eggs separate from all other things at the grocery store. Make sure you aren't contaminating foods in your grocery bag by separating your raw food, poultry, seafood, and eggs from other foods in your shopping cart. And at checkout, place your raw meat, poultry, and seafood in separate bags to keep their juices from dripping on other foods. Keep meat, poultry, seafood, and eggs separate from all other foods in the fridge also. Bacteria can spread inside your fridge if the juices of raw meat, poultry, seafood, and eggs drip into ready-to-eat foods. But stopping this contamination is simple. Place your raw meat, poultry, and seafood in containers or sealed plastic bags to prevent their juices from dripping or leaking onto their foods. If you're not planning to use these foods within a few days, freeze them instead. Keep your eggs in their original carton and store them in the main compartment of your refrigerator. The third topic of the Food Safe Family Campaign is to cook the food at the right temperature. Did you know that the bacteria that cause food poisoning multiply quickest in the danger zone between 40 degrees and 140 degrees Fahrenheit? And while many people think they can tell when food is done simply by checking its color and texture, there's no way to be sure if it's safe without following a few important but simple steps. The first step is to use a food thermometer. Cooked food is safe only after it's been heated to a high enough temperature to kill harmful bacteria. Color and texture alone won't tell you whether your food is done. Instead, use a food thermometer to be sure. If you don't have one already, consider buying a food thermometer. When you think your food is done, place the food thermometer in the thickest part of the food. Make sure not to touch the bone, fat, or gristle. Wait the amount of time recommended by your type of thermometer. Then compare your thermometer to a cooking temperature chart to be sure it's reached a safe temperature. Some foods need 3 minutes of rest time after cooking to make sure that harmful germs are killed. Clean your food thermometer with hot soapy water after each use. Keep your food hot after cooking. The possibility of bacterial growth actually increases as your food cools after cooking because the drop in temperature allows bacteria to thrive. But you can keep your food above the safe temperature by using a heat source like a chafing dish, a warming tray, or a slow cooker. Microwave your food thoroughly. To make sure harmful bacteria have been killed in your foods, it's important to microwave them to 165 degrees or higher. Here's how. When you microwave, stir your food in the middle of heating. If the food label says let stand for X amount of minutes after cooking, don't skip the step. Letting your microwave food sit for a few minutes actually helps your food cook more completely by allowing colder areas of food time to absorb heat from hotter areas of food. That extra minute or two could mean the difference between a delicious meal and food poisoning. After waiting a few minutes, check the food with a food thermometer to make sure it's 165 degrees or above. The fourth and final topic of the Food Safe Family Campaign is to chill and refrigerate your food properly. Did you know that illness-causing bacteria can grow in perishable foods within 2 hours unless you refrigerate them? If the temperature is 90 degrees or higher during the summer, cut that time down to 1 hour. Cold temperatures slow the growth of illness-causing bacteria, so it's important to chill food promptly and properly. Here's how. Pack your refrigerator with care. To properly chill food, cold air must be allowed to circulate in your fridge. For this reason, it's important not to overstuff your fridge. Your fridge should be between 40 degrees and 32 degrees. Appliance thermometers help you know if the fridge is cold enough. Get perishable foods into the fridge or freezer within 2 hours. In the summer months, cut this time down to 1 hour. Remember to store leftovers within 2 hours as well. By dividing leftovers into several clean, shallow containers, you allow them to chill faster. Freezing. You can freeze almost any food. That doesn't mean that the food will be good to eat or safe. Freezing does not destroy harmful bacteria, but it does keep food safe until you can cook it. Your freezer should be 0 degrees or below. Never thaw or marinate foods on the counter. Many people are surprised at this tip, but since bacteria can multiply rapidly at room temperature, thawing or marinating foods on the counter is one of the riskiest things you can do when preparing food for your family. To thaw food safely, choose one of these options. 1. Thaw in the refrigerator. This is the safest way to thaw your meat, poultry, and seafood. Simply take the food out of the freezer and place it on a plate or pan that could catch any juices that may leak. Normally, it should be ready to use the next day. 2. Thaw in cold water. For faster thawing, you can put the frozen package in a watertight plastic bag and submerge it in cold water. Be sure to change the water every 30 minutes. Note, if you thaw this way, be sure to cook the food immediately. 3. Thaw in the microwave. Faster thawing can also be accomplished in the microwave. Simply follow instructions in your owner's manual for thawing. With thawing in cold water, food thawed in the microwave should be cooked immediately. 4. Cook without thawing. If you don't have enough time to thaw food, just remember, it is safe to cook foods from a frozen state, but your cooking time will approximately be 50% longer than fully thawed meat or poultry. To marinate your food safely, always marinate in the refrigerator. So now I'm going to explain to you how to use the Food Keeper app and what it actually is. So the Food Keeper app helps you use food while at peak quality and reduce waste. The storage times listed are intended as useful guidelines and are not hard and fast rules. Some foods may deteriorate more quickly, while others may last longer than the time suggested. The times will vary depending on the growing conditions, harvesting techniques, manufacturing processes, transportation, and distribution conditions. Remember to buy foods in reasonable quantities and rotate the products in your pantry, refrigerator, and your freezer. Every year, billions of pounds of good food go to waste in the U.S. because consumers are not sure of its quality or safety. By reducing food waste through buying appropriate quantities, storing foods properly, cooking what is needed, and composting, consumers can save money and reduce the amount of food going to landfills. So now we're just going to take a random item. So let's pick meats. So once you get to the meat category, you're going to select either fresh, shelf-stable foods, smoked or processed, or stuffed or assembled. So we're just going to pick fresh. And so then you go and you pick the type of beef or goat or lamb or pork or veal. So you're going to pick one. We're going to pick steak. So you can see here it says the timelines. For freshness and quality, the items should be consumed within 3 to 5 days if refrigerated from the date of purchase, or 4 to 12 months if you freeze it from the date of purchase. So now we're going to go back and we're going to pick a different item. Now we're going to pick produce. We're going to do fresh vegetables. So now you're just going to go within the list and pick a random one, and we could do garlic. So for garlic, for freshness and quality, this item should be consumed within 1 month if in the pantry from the date of purchase, 3 to 14 days if refrigerated from the date of purchase, or 1 month if frozen from the date of purchase. And then you can scroll down and it says tips. For the pantry tip, unbroken bulbs are best, and for the refrigerator, individual close. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed learning about food safety and the Food Keeper app, and you're interested enough to go download it now on the App Store. Also, I hope you want to get involved with food safety, and if you would like to, you could go to the CDC website or the USDA website for more information. Thanks!